watched a lot of these anti-gravity videos and the scientists talking about seeing the behind the scenes. There's a good one by a NASA scientist talking about something he's seen back in 92, 94, something like that. That one's going around. Look up NASA scientist, anti-gravity. There's like one dude who's claiming he's discovered anti-gravity, and then there's another dude who's talking about his testimony witnessing something from the 90s. And it's funny because a lot of the stuff, it tries to explain electrogravitic anti-gravity, and then as well as he discusses seeing physical sparks and stuff. And I mean, if we take in consideration high voltage and all this stuff, and if we look at Tesla technology and plasma jets, basically there are versions of plasma jets to where basically it's just a Tesla coil with a single point, and that single point, that alternating current, is a plasma jet. And in the description of what dude explains to be an egg-shaped UFO or an oval type system, it has 3 wires tethered to it, basically an electrical system. That would be a 3-phase system. That's the only reason there would be 3 wires. If it was just a regular system, it'd probably just have 1 wire. But due to the fact that it has 3, would indicate a 3-phase electrical array. And I mean, with the shape, basically a plasma jet, it just, whatever direction you point the thing is the direction that the plasma is thrown from the vehicle. What if it's more than just ionic wind or some electromagnetic effect? What if it's all of the above? What if it's, because all of these things, the electromagnetic system, you could create a Tesla coil with an electromagnetic system like that. It'd be high frequency, especially 3-phase, So we have a super high frequency output that could be a plasma jet. So, I mean, we could use the ionic wind or whatever and the electromagnetism to hover, and then we hit our plasma jet, and then boom, we're gone, because it's, we become weightless or whatever with the gravitics or electrogravitics. I mean, basically the Townsend Brown effect. We have the electrical voltage of the earth, the ground is 0, and blah blah blah. It's like 120 volts per foot or something. Don't quote me. There is a map. Basically, like, there was a dude from the 1930s, Plawson or something. Look up 1930s Plawson patents. Basically, this dude he had balloons with points all over them, and at each point, it was atmospheric electricity, and at that point in space where he was, it was right at the limit that you're not allowed to fly a balloon at anymore because of airspace. Right there, he was getting like 600 volts and a bunch of amps. He was able to run his home off of like 4 balloons or something, and a modern day home uses way more electricity than a home from the 1930s. Actually, it may use less. I'm not sure, because we are getting better at technology and stuff. But either way, my question here is, okay, what if our version of what they're explaining to us isn't true anti-gravity? It's just a bunch of effects working together to create the appearance of anti-gravity. Like, That's what a satellite does. It creates the appearance of anti-gravity because truly it's falling. But my question really is more like, okay, we have the technology of the Townsend Brown effect. We know how that works. We have rumored anti-gravity electromagnetism effects, and I mean, there's clay, and the clay is aluminum, and then there's documented evidence where the aluminum oxide with carbon, which is dirt, or I mean, trees, carbon's everywhere, coal, all that stuff, and the ground should be quite conductive and function like a aluminum plate and an electromagnetic thing. Maybe it's not strong enough to do it on its own, but when we add the Townsend Brown effect or the ionic wind to the electromagnetism, and we add the plasma jet to these two effects, wouldn't that not give the appearance of anti-gravity? Would that not give us the capabilities to hover? And I mean, the alien craft was mimicked to be a balloon in the Roswell crash. And I mean, to get a balloon to hover with ionic wind and electromagnetic pulses seems quite simple, because I mean, that's what an ionic lifter is. And then when you add the addition of a plasma jet, imagine something weightless and quite well shaped and aerodynamic that has a plasma jet system with no fuel, just electricity. The real question would be, well, how are they? What's the power system? How are they powering it? Because NASA's saying they use fucking plutonium powered, and it's Back to the Future shit. It's not plutonium. I'm just throwing that out there because it came to, because I know what plutonium is, and radioactive materials, fusion, yada yada, so on and so forth. Then NASA also has a tether that they drag. They drop a tether, which is just a metal rod. They drop a metal rod into the atmospheric electricity, and it pushes them forward with ionic wind. So if they can fly to a certain level and pick up this ionic electricity enough to power a craft 600 volts via the Plawson patent, so on and so forth, I mean, is it really alien tech? Or are they really just that good at gatekeeping some simple technologies? Because, I mean, you can use the internet and find all the information. You can find the Plawson patents. You can find plasma jets. Actually, France has one. NASA's using one and claiming they're powering it with a fucking fusion reactor or some shit. And whatever. But, I mean, go on YouTube, look at an ion lifter. If we add rotation and magnetism to the metals of the system, I mean, basically they're just metal circles, and add a Tesla coil, we could step up that voltage to plasma jet level voltage. And there are airplanes that are using ionic wind to travel. I mean, they're more like fucking kites, I guess. But still, what is anti-gravity? We don't even know what gravity is. Gravity is probably an effect that is not just a singular action, but a reaction of multiple things, rather than just expecting it to be bent space-time like we're told. It's probably more along the lines of the fact that there's ionic wind pushing me down, there's magnetism, there's the magnetism of all these other planets pushing down on our planet, and I'm diamagnetic, so I'm getting pushed down. Whatever you want to, I mean, there's probably more to gravity than just one thing. And I mean, that's probably the biggest secret. Because I mean, when they look at these top secret government organization plans where they're reverse engineering, everybody is separate and no one is allowed to talk to each other. Why would they do that? Other than to keep it. Because I mean, if it's one system, they should probably all talk together about the one system. Instead, they said, hey, how's this piece work? Hey, how's this piece work? Don't you dare talk to them. Why would they do that? Just throwing that out there. What is anti-gravity? Is it one thing? Or are we looking at it completely different? And, I mean, is this technology that we see in these UAP, UFOs, is it really anti-gravity? Or is it just ionic wind, electromagnetism, and plasma jets that are, you know, because, I mean, if I can make it hover and weightless and then use a jet, it'd probably go real fucking fast. And, I mean, if I can make an electromagnet hover on an aluminum plate, imagine what it does in a conductive fluid like the ocean. You could probably create a bubble around a vehicle and travel at high speeds that no one is capable of doing because they don't possess the electromagnetic fields that you possess. The truth is out there. And I mean, these things all work. We know they work. It's more about how do I power it. That is the top secret information here. Is not the system. It is how do I power the system. That is the real top secret part of what is hidden from us. Because we know ionic lifters work. We know plasma jets work. We know that electromagnetism can levitate on conductive surfaces. We know that it can push water that is conductive away from it. As well as water in general is diamagnetic, so it would push away anyway. So it has the diamagnetism of the water, and then the salt ions, the sodium, the chlorine, and the nitrates, and everything that's in the ocean. The push would be like pushing away an aluminum plate or a copper plate. It's just induction. It's basic induction. It's not complicated. I think that they've separated everything to overcomplicate them or make them look overcomplicated. But if this guy talked to this guy, they'd be like, oh dude, if we work together, man, isn't that what they do with society as a whole? I mean, as in like colors and stuff. I mean, I think that people are just people. Like, to be honest, I'm pretty sure I evolved from a black dude. There's evidence that in like fucking, they found that the people from Europe were black first, and we know that, you know, black women can have white babies without a white man. It's genetically possible. So the reality is we're all related and no one's really any different than anybody. And I mean, if we look at India, they're the most related to fucking everybody. Yet they have the oldest history. Just gonna leave that here. A bounce. Food for thought, though. Like, I mean, with what I've laid out here, it's not just about technology. It's about life in general. I mean, everything is separated. And there is a reason it's separated. They've separated all our technology. They've separated all our people. They've created all these religions and all this bull nonsense. And, we're just fucking people, dude. And if this scientist would quit thinking he's smarter than this scientist, and this scientist would quit doing the same fucking thing and be like, oh, dude, we're friends. Oh, you know that? Well, did you know that this does this? Holy shit, that means this does this. Oh, this means... If we just get along and quit trying to be I'm better than you or I'm smarter than you, and just realize that we probably all have our own secrets, and if we take our secrets together, it's not really that complicated, man. I'm gonna bounce off here.